consistent, Tarik Skubal. Lasers. Freaking lasers. This guy, we had must-see JV back in the day. I was trying to think of something fun and, that we could think of for Tarik Skubal. Like, how do we have fun wordplay with, like, must-see Tarik?
Scooby. Must-see Scooby.
Must-see Scooby.
Scooby snacks.
Nothing really flows like must-see JV, but I'll throw that up there again, Spenny, so I can read it for everybody who can't read. Skubal is an elite company. He joins Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander as the only Tigers to win 10 consecutive decisions in a season over the past 40 years. And what this guy is doing, the way he pitches, like, I love Verlander. I still think Verlander has a couple notches over him just because of the individual accomplishments that he has. I think Skubal has every opportunity to reach those things, but he hasn't done it to this point yet. But the way Skubal pitches and the way he's just a bulldog on that mound is so fun to watch. And the fact that we've had all three of those guys is pretty amazing. But it's got to result in two things. One, a contract extension, and two, a World Series ring. If neither of those, even if 50% of those things happen, it's not good enough.
And you know what it comes, I cannot believe I'm saying this right now. Lord forgive me, but I know the Woodward staff had a chance to catch up with Rob Parker yesterday. And Rob Parker...
Mr. Racebait?
Well, he stopped saying serious things many, many years ago. We know that. But you know what he said yesterday where he's right on? As magical a season this guy is having right now, there's nobody in town that can sit back and say he's a slam dunk to win back-to-back Cy Youngs. That's the crazy reality of what's going on in baseball right now in the American League, okay? Hunter Brown is unbelievable. Max in New York is unbelievable. Now, I think it's Skubal, Hunter Brown, then Max, okay? But I could see the argument if somebody said, hey, Hunter Brown's having a better year than Skubal, I can see the argument. And that's the crazy dynamic of it. So somebody said, I think the question was, I watched it last night. I got to be honest with you, I was drunk. But I think the question was, somebody asked Rob, is he like the Cy Young? And like, we can act all Detroit and go, yeah, man, no doubt about it. He's Detroit all the way. Detroit versus everybody. We can play that old bit if you want, okay? But if you are being sincere, you have to say, holy shit, a Detroit guy in Hunter Brown is having an unbelievable year in Houston right now. And I think a little bit below it is Max in New York. And that's the crazy thing about it. In my mind, is Skubal the best pitcher in baseball? Absolutely is.
Yeah.
But I get the argument.
And like Hunter Brown has a better ERA than Skubal on the year, but Skubal now leads, or he's tied for the lead in wins. He has a better WAR. He's got a better strikeout per nine. He has more strikeouts, and he's got a better whip. So I'm saying Skubal's having a better year. Hunter Brown is having a fantastic year as well. Max Fried, like you said, he's forgotten. He's out of the race. Like, it's Hunter Brown and Skubal, and I think Skubal is a length ahead, a body length ahead of Hunter Brown right now, based on what he's doing when it comes to his strikeout to walk numbers. Like, his strikeout to walk ratio is approaching like legendary, like greatest of all time type stuff, where before yesterday he had we'll include yesterday's stats as well. In his last 13 games, he has 113 strikeouts and 10 walks. Like, the guy is just an absolute monster. Like Stick said, he's an absolute bulldog on the hill, and what he's doing is, like, the stretches of baseball that he's putting together this season, you look at the stats, you look at the things, and it's like nobody has ever done this before in the history of Major League Baseball. So, yeah, Hunter Brown's got a better ERA, but Skubal is having a much better year and a much better season.
I think the K through 9s are very close. The whip is very close.
Yeah.
And personally, I've always felt whip is undervalued. If you're putting guys on base, you're asking for trouble. That's why I worry a little bit about Casey Mize, because he's putting a lot of guys on base. But with that being said, yeah, if I had a vote right now, no doubt about it, I'd take Skubal. But I cannot believe I'm saying this. I can understand if somebody wanted to make the argument and they could turn around and say, hey, look, his ERA is better.
Yeah,
some of those numbers are better. So I understand that argument. I just wouldn't do it. I'd vote for Skubal.
Yeah.
Gromit in the chat. If you need one guy to win Game 7, you take Skubal over Brown.
1,000%.
And I mean, that's kind of your
1,000%
deciding factor, right?
1,000%.
And as much as I feel like things like this shouldn't play a factor into the eventual season-long goals, especially in a season like the MLB where it's, you get 30-plus starts in a year, games like last night do a lot for voters. And Sean knows that. Voters for different awards like this, voters for different season awards, a lot of them don't tap in as much as they should. But when you see a 13 strikeout, 1-hit performance on Sunday Night Baseball, you're like, okay, that gives you up a notch. And that remains in the minds of different voters.
Sean, you were obviously a big fan of the Tigers back when Verlander was pitching. Spenny, I mean, you were a Tigers fan. You're a little bit younger, though. Are you starting to feel the same energy, though? Like when Verlander used to go to the mound, the whole city would pause, listen to the radio, watch the game. It was must-see JV. Like, that wasn't just some saying. It was the truth. Because every time he was going out there, he had an opportunity to throw a no-hitter. I'm starting to feel that way with Skubal. Like, last night, my whole timeline is just Sunday Night Baseball, Skubal. The nation's watching. And people were getting excited for it in a way I haven't seen them get excited for Tigers baseball in many years.
There's more of a wow factor with Skubal, I think, because of the K's. I mean that. I think there's more of a wow factor with Skubal. Verlander, I mean, again, how can you deny a guy that threw a no-hitter in 2007, threw another one in 2011, and, had the magical seasons that he had? It's funny because my kid and I were talking about this last night. We used to have season tickets. The Anibal Sanchez game, it's the record for most strikeouts by a Tiger pitcher. He had 17 in only 8 innings in 2013. As you're watching that game yesterday, it was like, he's going to make a run at this.
Yeah.
Like, you knew early on, and I even tweeted out, I said, for the record, in case you're not aware of this, the record for a Tiger pitcher is 17 strikeouts set by Anibal Sanchez in 2013. That's on notice right now. Now, obviously, the pace slowed down, and they took him out. We don't know what would have happened if he would have been allowed to pitch, but yes. That's the long-winded yes. And I think, again, because of the K's, it's like people say, chicks dig the long ball. The K's just speak louder. They speak louder.
I don't know if it's just the K's because, Verlander was striking out 10 and 12 in performances, too. He had 3 seasons in Detroit where he had over 250 strikeouts. I think it's just, and I know Flannel's going to hate this, the aura of Tarik Skubal when he's on the size of it, like Verlander. Verlander was always a horse.
It's like Bonderman out there throwing like Verlander.
Yeah,
it's
he
a
just
dude, looks like a thug.
It's a dude. He's got insane quads. He is barking at people on the mound. He's screaming after strikeouts.
That's one thing.
He's got
Verlander
the hat to the side
do.
a little bit that gives him some swag. That's what it is.
He looks like he could be from the east side or downriver.
Yeah, and Verlander is my favorite Tiger of all time, and he was must-see JV, and he had just as much aura, but it's different. Verlander's Skubal's more of an attack dog than Verlander because he's got the anger and the aggression coming off the mound. You never really saw Verlander getting worked up like that after strikeouts.
You see him get pumped up, but it wasn't, I want to kick your fucking ass pumped up.
Yeah.
It was, I'm excited for myself, not come here, come get some of this.
It's kind of funny because three of the top 25 most strikeouts in a game by a Detroit Tiger pitcher go to Skubal, and Verlander has a couple. And it was, for me, it was 11 and 12 was magical. And then nobody wants to admit this. Do you know what we had to deal with in 2013? Justin Verlander has a dead arm. Yeah. That was real. I listened to that every fucking day. It was insane. And then if you remember, when he came back late in the year, he was as good, if not better, down the stretch. And his playoff in 2013 was insane. Yeah. And that's why people like me, I don't even like saying the words 2013 because part of me dies because that was the year. That was the year for the Tigers. And, Stick, for guys like you and I'll speak for me. I feel sorry for the generation that you have to hear about 1984 constantly. I feel sorry for you guys.
Yeah, it sucks.
I do. I want you to get another series because I remember what 84 was like. And for me, I heard about 68 all the time. I knew everything about a team. I wasn't born. I knew every gosh damn thing about that team.
Yep.
So because of that, you know what? For like my kid who absolutely adores the Tigers, heck, he works for the franchise. For the younger guys that you've heard about 84, yeah, gosh damn it, get your own 84.
I was -12 the last time the Tigers won a World
Yeah, I was
Series.
3.
And shout out to Byrne in the Woodward Sports Chat with the super chat. He says, putting men on base is a high IQ play. How else can you get double or triple play? If you just hit the batter, it's even more high IQ. It's fair.
To counter
He's got
the
a point.
aura argument between Verlander and Skubal, you got to throw the Kate Upton factor in there.
Definitely
you don't
helps.
pull a Kate Upton if you don't have aura.
No, like Verlander's the man. It's a different auras. Like I said, Skubal's more of the attack dog, and what I like to see is Skubal doing the same cut. Like, remember when Verlander was at the peak of his powers, when he was Cy Young MVP, when he was the guy. He was doing the, okay, now in the 9th inning when I have 115 pitches thrown, now I'm going to crank it up to 100 miles an hour and start blowing it by people. And we see Skubal doing the same thing. His last pitch, his final strikeout, his 13th of the night was a 100-mile-per-hour fastball on the inside black. Like, the guy is just insane. And I love when Skubal gets 1 or 2 runs and he's in that mode. I love about Skubal when he is feeling himself like he was last night. He is just throwing 99, 98 center cut fastballs over the middle of the plate saying, fucking hit it, pussy. And they're not going to. He literally is just chucking strikes and saying, hit it, pussy. And they're not. And then he drops off the nastiest fucking changeup you've ever seen in your life.
I love
you
this
strike
comment
out.
from Danny G in the chat. This fan base is so behind Skubal at this point. If they let him go, we might have riots.